Testing, testing. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That is completely my fault. My apologies. When I had the wireless on, I couldn't hear myself on the phone because the Bluetooth from the wireless is also connected to the phone. So it took away the phone volume and I thought I couldn't be heard. By the time I tried to reconnect it after disconnecting it, computer and the module wouldn't let me. So I had to go out and come back in. Almighty, we're just thankful and grateful for this opportunity, this time that exists beyond any scope, anything that's quantifiable and measurable, anything that is accessible in terms of space and time. Thank you that the greatest of your intention, will, desire, and guidance is fulfilled in us. And we bless you, Yeshua's name, power, way, consciousness. It is so, and so it is. Tag and share, share and tag, family. Thank you for your patience. Tag and share, share and tag. Tag and share, share and tag. And give as many likes and hearts as you can. Tag, share, text, share, and tag. I'm so excited and delighted, as always, to be with you. What an honor and a privilege it is. And I do have some good stuff to share with you today. Let people know that we're on the air. When you tag, just simply do this in the comment section, share and tagged, or I tagged, like that, however you want to do it, to let us know that you tagged and shared. Thank you so much for tagging and sharing on today. Since we're a little bit behind schedule, I won't prolong the time. I want you to make sure that you follow me on the various social media handles that you see at the bottom of the screen. This is Revolution Sundays with Dr. A.G. Green Sr. Thank you so much for tuning in, family. As you always do, tag, share, and text, share, and tag. Don't forget, especially on Facebook, to give a lot of likes and hearts. It impacts the algorithm in a positive way. It basically says we're doing things over here. No matter what you're going through, no matter what you're facing, no matter what the circumstances or situations, I want you to understand that in concert and in partnership with the Almighty, I can. I want you to type it in the comment section. I can. I can prosper. I can. I can love and be loved. I can. I can confront any opposing circumstance or situation. I can. I can master myself. I can master my will. I can master my emotions. I can master my desires. Come on, type it in the comment section. I can. Matter of fact, speak it out loud. Speak it out loud where you are. I can. Come on, say it with me. I can. I can. I can. I can. Come on, type it in the comment section. I can. I can. I can. That's right. You got to know you can. You do all things through the Christos, through the Christ mind, through Christ's energy. The energy that created worlds is the same energy that flows and surges through you as a spiritual being. I can. Oh, indeed I can. Philippians 4:13 tells us I can. The next thing you need to understand and recognize is that you are the offspring of a great, powerful creator. You are not powerless. You are powerful. I want you to speak out loud. I am powerful. Then I want you to type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Come on, family. Type it in the comment section. I am powerful. That's it. Type that in the comment section. I am powerful. Breathe the power. Own the power. Recognize the power. Don't be afraid to own the power that you are and the power that you possess. That's it. I am powerful. I am powerful. Indeed, I am. Indeed, I am. I know that I know that I know that I know. I am powerful. I feel it. I sense it. I know it. It's just moving and coursing through my innermost being. I am powerful. That's it. That's it, family. That's it. Own the power. Know the power. Recognize the power. Now I want you in this moment to type in the comment section in a celebratory way with feeling, power, and dynamism, and explosion that what you see show up. I want you to type in the comment section right now. Type it along with me. Restoration is now for me. Come on, type it in the comment section. Restoration is now for me. That's it. Type it in the comment section. Restoration is now for me. 7 times, 10 times, 20 times. I am restored now. I am restored now. Health is restored now. Opportunities are restored now. Wealth is restored now. Joy and peace, infinite, are restored right now. Come on now. I am restored. Restoration is now for me. The only moment you have is now. Own it, live in it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Because I can feel it. I'm so thankful for restoration right now. I'm so grateful for restoration right now. Come on. Restoration is now. 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 Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What a glorious thing it is to know that you know that you know that you know that you know that restoration is now. What a powerful thing it is to know that you know that you know that restoration is now. While I'm talking and while you're declaring and decreeing it, I want you to see money falling like rain. That's restoration. I want you to see your connection and awareness with God and all things divine. Some felt they've lost something. You're elevating, you're growing, you're ascending right now. See that in your mind. Yes, imagine opportunities flooding into your life. Restoration, restoration of business principles, business desires, restoration of things that are the intangibles in life. Maybe you feel like your peace has been stolen from you. Maybe you feel like your dream and your vision has been hijacked, but no, restoration is now. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I sense it. I sense it. I sense it. Embrace it and be thankful and grateful for it right now. The pressed down, shaken together, and running over is already taking place. The avalanche of abundance. Come on. The avalanche of abundance. And abundance is not just money. Abundance can be an abundance of health. It can be an abundance of connections. It can be an abundance of fulfillment. It can be an abundance of well-being. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Restoration is now. It is right now. I appreciate you all so dearly. Real quickly, I want to get us into the announcement section before I check on you today to see exactly how you're doing. But restoration is now. Own it, embody it, recognize it, feel it, taste it, handle it. Come on now. Enjoy it. For restoration is right now. You've got to know that you know that you know that you know that it is for you. You've got to know that you know that you know that restoration is here and restoration is now and restoration belongs to you. And don't allow anybody to talk you out of the fact that you are old. Restoration.
Visit the Divine Species shop at divinespecies.com. There you'll find many wonderful things to enhance your spiritual and mental experience. Visit it today and level up your life. TheAGGreen.com is up. The new online hub for AG Green is active and ready for visitors. This site will help you stay current in what's happening in our spiritual community. The AGGreen.com website is also designed to help you connect with powerful and insightful tools to help you evolve, transform, and ascend. Make sure you visit today and check it weekly for updates. All right, guys, that's all I have for you.
Listen, tons and tons of new stuff on theaggreen.com. Who's been there lately and explored the site? Let me see who's been to theaggreen.com and explored the site. Let me see it. If you've been to theaggreen.com in the last week, let me see. There's like 4 or 5. There are like 4 or 5 new pages on there. And I think we may add a new page this week. Uh, so I want to know who's been there recently. Who's been there recently? I want you to continue to visit theaggreen.com. Let's see who's been there. All right. Thank you so much. I probably not this week, but I'm going to put up a page, eventually book resources, video resources of some great dynamic spiritual and metaphysical teachers. I'm going to eventually add a library of scholars. There are scholars that you should be connected with that's going to shift your paradigm if you open yourself up to the data that is presented. But anyway, it is a wonderful experience and it will keep you updated as to what's going on with what we're doing here and the rollout that's taking place now. Now, the website you want to keep in mind moving forward is look at the bottom, divinespecies.com, divinespecies.com, divine species shop, I'm sorry, divinespeciesshop.com, divinespeciesshop.com. That's where you want to make sure you stay attuned to as well. And you can access Divine Species Shop from theaggreen.com. Now, listen, I told you all that I've experimented with some new designs. And this is, of course, the I Am Powerful Mug 2. It is now available at divinespeciesshop.com. I hope that you, my wonderful supporters, will go there and that you will also share with other people that we've got some empowering, um, inspirational clothes. Now, I do have another site that's got more of a collection of T-shirts and things like that. I'm still curating and developing it, and I'm going to hopefully by this time next week, it'll be available for you to go and get tons and tons of gear, inspirational gear with a message. All right. So this is I Am Powerful 2, and this is the I Am Powerful 2 shirt that I told you about. All right, the I Am Powerful 2 shirt. Now, I didn't quite like this one because I like the black color like you see that I have with the I Am Powerful 1 design, but this in a more richer black color is going to be, or richer, I should say, black color is going to be available at graceteasandgifts.com in the next couple of days. But yet you can still order uh, the mug, divinespeciesshop.com. And then last but not least, this is the I Am Powerful 1 mug. I'm still tinkering and exploring it. There's only a couple of us that have this where it's printed on both sides. Our resident mystic Turk has this as well. You can go to divinespeciesshop.com and order it today. Order it today. It takes about 5 to 7 business days to get it in. But both of these mugs, as well as the I Am Powerful, this design, I Am Powerful 1 tees for men and women in various different sizes, are also at divinespeciesshop.com. All right. Last but not least, last but not least, uh, I have the X19 cloth, the X19 cloth based on X19. Now, let me briefly explain to you my belief about handkerchiefs. Yes, we see in the biblical text, Paul wore them, they blessed them, so forth and so on. This is what I want people to know who say they're followers of Christ. When a handkerchief is prayed over, now, first of all, you carry the power. You are the power. You are one with God. You don't require a handkerchief or an object. That's the first thing I'm going to say. The second thing I'm going to say, though, is that some people require a point of contact. They require a point of contact with an object they believe and know is consecrated. So just as we see in the metaphysical world, people are charging amulets and charging objects. The saints don't know that when you pray over a blessed cloth and believe you're imparting the presence of God in it, which you are if you believe you are, with a garment that on a subatomic level has consciousness. When you bless it, you are charging it with the presence, what you know and believe is the presence of God and the presence of the Spirit. Some people need this as a point of contact. I've been praying over these things for years, and it never ceases to amaze me. I prayed over it, I charged it, and yes, miracles do happen. This is going to be available on the store in the next upcoming days. I had it designed to be stitched to remind you of the president in Scripture, the spiritual president in Scripture of the text. It is charged and prayed over for a series of several days before I release it to you. Secondly, and let me give y'all a secret about something. People don't know that when you write something on an object, let me give you something you probably hasn't heard, then some of you have heard. It can take on the properties, the meaning, or the definition of what you write on it. Let me give you some game right quick. Can I give you some game right quick? Yes or no? Can I give you some game right quick? Yes or no? Tell me yes or no if I can give you some spiritual a spiritual thing for you to try real quick. Real quick. Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm waiting for you. Then I'm going to get into it. I got one yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can I get another yes? Can I get another yes? Yes, 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 yes. Can I get one more yes? Can I get one more yes? All right. I ran across this teaching years ago, and I decided, really from a spiritual alchemist, and I decided I was going to try it. Let me tell you what I tried. When I understood that if I write something with intention on an object, then I am literally allowing the, I am literally, as the power, as the operant power, as the spiritual being, hear me, who believes that he is manifesting by way of transferring the name or the title on the object, whatever it is, the name on or that I write on the object is defined to be, it's defined to be. So let me tell you how I lost about 20 pounds. I had 3 cups, all right, 3 styrofoam cups I used to use, all right. And on one of the cups, I wrote on the outside, what is it? Weight loss. It was metabolic increase and weight loss. Metabolic increase and weight loss. Believing in the principle that when I write it on the cup, the content of the cup is going to contain what I define it to be. Now I could have easily just thought this. Matter of fact, this is before I evolved to the state that I'm in. I could have easily just imagined this, like I teach you all to. You can do that. It's this, what I'm sharing with you is just a process. So every day I would pour water in, and I had 2 other cups that said 2 other different things, right? Uh, but and I'll share those other 2 things with you later. So I literally would pour water 3, 4 times a day, however many times a day, in that cup that said metabolic increase and rapid weight loss on the outside of the cup. I wrote it in like black permanent marker ink and used it for several days. Do you realize after about 2 weeks, I was dropping weight, eating the same thing. Then at times receiving a motivation to do things I had not done exercise wise, eating wise. I'd end up dropping like 20 pounds in probably a month. Because every time I pick that cup up, I'm reminding myself that I have put power for weight loss and believing in the transfer of the inscription. Did you catch that? But the inscription is with intention. The inscription is really powered by me. That every time I put a substance into the cup, all right, the inscription is speaking to the cup. The inscription is inscribed on the contents of the inside of the cup. One of these days, I already told you, I'm going to talk to you about how to talk to water, how to talk to inanimate objects. I did some teaching on that probably a year and a half to 2 years ago. This stuff is real. So anyway, when we pray over cloths, when we inscribe them, and it's not magic, it's power. It's supernatural power. It's spiritual power. We have the ability to charge it and impart it with the Spirit of God, life giving, creative power. And people who connect with it by faith use their faith to connect with what it's been charged with, and you'll see powerful things. I wanted to explain that. But last but not least, you don't really need any of those things if you can do it within yourself. But if a point of contact helps you, then by all means use that point of contact. I've used them several different times for several different things in my life. A rock that I gave to somebody I love that said faith on it. Every time I would rub that rock, I would experience an increase of faith. It was a point of contact for me. It was prayed over, it was charged, it was empowered. And every time I would rub that, my faith would grow. And every time I would rub that, my faith would grow, which meant that I would be able to, if I was dealing with something difficult, dealing with something challenging, then I was able to not just hold on to, but to push forward to see the manifestation of faith. So these things work. And sometimes these things are necessary to use until you get to a point where you just do what I do: think, imagine, and speak, and things manifest for you. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. But yes, I'm gonna get into that. The power of writing and transferring what you write into objects. I'm gonna get into some of that teaching, not today, but I just wanted to explain my belief around the prayer cloth situation. All right, let me check in with you real quickly because I got to do it. What are you eating and sipping, and how are you feeling while you're eating and sipping? What are you eating and sipping, and how are you feeling while you're eating and sipping? I'm sipping on my organic coffee, my delicious organic coffee. It's awesome stuff. You ought to get you some. And I'm feeling empowered in this particular moment. Tell me real quickly, what are you eating and sipping, and how you feeling? What are you eating and sipping, and how are you feeling? What are you eating and sipping, and how are you feeling? Real quickly. And then we're going to go to my assistance. We're going to go back to Joshua 6:1-2. And I got some deeper things from scientific perspective, scientific, spiritual, and metaphysical perspectives on what I've been talking about in Joshua today. Real quickly, what you eating and sipping, and how you feeling? Coffee with French vanilla creamer. Sounds delicious. I had hazelnut in mine today with my organic coffee. All right. Let's see. The Mystic Resident Turk. Let's see. Feeling good. Ate leftover oxtails. Watch out. Oxtails and sipping water. I know them oxtails are probably delicious. Let's see here. Hillary, hot wings and cheese bacon fries with water and Dr. Pepper. Feeling a lot better than yesterday evening. What? Hot wings, hot wings. Boy, that sounds delicious. She says, cheese, bacon, fries for you folk who love cheese on your stuff. Ooh, y'all be eating some stuff in the morning. And let's see, feeling amazing. I'm receiving and expecting the best. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Brenda says, sip tea early and feeling great. Awesomeness. Awesomeness. Thank you so much for sharing what you are eating and sipping on. Let's go to the text. I think I got everything in there. Let's go to the text real quick. Joshua 6, 1 and 2. I want the assistants to put it up on the screen, and let's get into it today. I'm not going to go back over everything that I have discussed. I was sharing with you three revelations that occurred to Joshua. Revelation is an unveiling or an uncovering, a revealing of something, a revealing of something. And we've been in Joshua 6, 1 through 2, 6 and 2. And the Lord said unto Joshua, see, I have given into thine hand Jericho or Jericho and the king thereof and the mighty men of valor. So when you read these particular texts, always understand that the Lord is in you. The Lord is a part of you. In this text, the perspective of Jewish writers was that they were speaking to a being outside of themselves, unless it was somebody who was a mediator of the divine name. These are scholarly studies, the mediator of the divine name, which is not talked about much in Christendom and Christianity circles, uh, because of the belief system it has adopted. That's a whole nother discussion. But they believe that their God was outside of them. We know better. That God is one with us, that God is a part of us, that God lives on the inside of us. And of course, there were some people who experienced the revelation of understanding. They were not just being led and guided from a God that was external to them, but from a God that lived on the inside of them. All right. So it is revealed to Joshua. He said, see. We're going to get into the word see one more time. Here it is in the NIV version. Here it is in the NIV version. All right. So, mental sight, insight, ra'ah. And I explained to you last week from a Hebraic perspective. We defined it generically, ra'ah, to see, perceive, have vision. We also talked in times past about its connection with the revelatory name of God and associating with Adam, association with Abraham, and his other son, Isaac. And we also talked about how the verb carries the additional idiomatic meaning of seeing to something with respect to caring and providing for them. I don't want to get into that explanation, how it's related to the name of God, so forth and so on. But it is akin to God being provider, God manifesting, God seeing to something being done. So the deeper significance in seeing Ra'ah is he's seeing it being done by God within. He's seeing it being done by an innate superior power within. He's seeing the provision of Jericho being given to him. We talked last week about, uh, again, it primarily means to see in both a literal sense and also has an abstract meaning from Hebraic perspective to mean perceiving, understanding, or experiencing. Perceiving, understanding, or experiencing. It is used in various contexts, including physical sight, visionary experiences, and intellectual or spiritual perception. The verb can also imply the act of looking with intention, check that out, or consideration. Looking with intention or consideration. When you're seeing something within, it doesn't just have to be by observation, family. It can be by intention to create. I'm going to say it again. It doesn't have to be just by observation. It can be by intention to create. I further advance the explanation from a Hebraic ancient perspective of Ra'ah. In ancient Hebrew culture, seeing was not merely a physical act, but often carried deeper implications of understanding and discernment. I want you to type it in the comment section, understanding and discernment. Type that in the comment section, understanding and discernment. Understanding and discernment. Mhm. So when you're seeing something, you're seeing it to understand, you're seeing it to know, but you're also seeing it to discern. What am I understanding? I'm understanding by this revelation. By this revelation, I could be understanding how to master a situation. I could be understanding how to confiscate a situation. I could be understanding how to overcome a situation. But I'm seeing it within. In other words, I'm not allowing that which I believe is external to me, but really isn't, in another person, in another situation, or another circumstance, dictate to me, family, the result or the outcome. I'm looking with understanding, under having an understanding in the moment of who and what I am in my life, who and what I am in my reality, who and what I am in relation to God, in relation to self, in relation to others. I have an understanding that I get to choose outcomes. I get to make decisions. I get to decide whether I win or lose. I want you to hear me. So, in ancient Hebrew culture, seeing was not merely a physical act, but often carried deeper implications of understanding and discernment. Prophets, for example, were often described as seers, Hebrew word roe, indicating their ability to perceive divine truths. The act of seeing was also associated with witnessing events and understanding God's will, reflecting a holistic view of perception that included both physical and spiritual dimensions. Wow. I've been intending to do some extensive some teaching on the will of God, and I will at some point in time. But for the most part, it's not what you think it is. But what I want to say to you about this is when you are seeking the Almighty from within, or seeking guidance from within, from what we call the higher self, which is really you, your spiritual self, that is one with God, where the voice of God exists and lives within you, the guidance is going to be the will. What's revealed to you in the moment as to the decision you should make, or the decision you want to make, is the will. I want you to hear what I'm saying today. There are sometimes I'm asking God for things. And again, I recognize that I'm one with God. I recognize that God is not in some distant place, distant dimension, that God lives in me. I know the kingdom is in me, and every dimension of the kingdom is within me. And there are times I'm talking to the great I am. I'm talking to God who lives within, and God is responding to me sometimes in yes or no. Then there are other times God responds to me and tells me I've got a choice in the matter. I get to choose and I get to decide. All right. He's in that moment, the Almighty is saying to me that I have allowed it to be that you will choose what path you take in the multiverse. You would choose what path you take out of all the dimensions of choice you have within your mind, within your thinking, that's going to create a reality for you. I want you to understand that if you're looking at something negative, he will remind me, you don't have to have that. You don't have to go down that path. You are a creator and a co creator with me. If you exercise your faith for the outcome you know and believe, then that's the outcome you can have. I want you to understand that when that is revealed to you, I didn't need to go to a book for that to be revealed to me. That's revealed to me from within me. And the proof is that when you follow these instructions, it happens in a way that it was revealed to you by God. Am I making any sense to anybody? Last week I talked about the revelation of authority, and I'm sorry, our resident our resident therapist is on. I don't know what uh this part 8 or part 9. I can't tell, but I'm gonna let him put it up in the comment section. I don't know if this is part 8 or part 9, divine vision, or seeing like God, divine vision. I don't know what part this is. But what I want to talk to you about today is the revelation of victory. I want you to type it in the comment section, the revelation of victory. Type that in the comment section, the revelation of victory. Type that in the comment section, the revelation of victory. Now, I think I started with this last week, but I'm not satisfied. I need to go a little bit deeper with this. The revelation of victory. So again, revelation is revealing, It's uncovering something. It's revealing, and in pictorial language, to uncover. And when you uncover something, you can see what's underneath the covers. It's being exposed to you or shown to you. Okay. Revelation of victory. Thank you, sir. We're on part 8. We're on part 8 of divine vision. Part 8. Revelation of victory. Now, what Joshua had was he had a revelation of authority first, but he also had a revelation of victory. The revelation of victory again begins within the uncovering of the outcome of the battle. The uncovering of the victory, family, didn't come from a pamphlet, didn't come from somebody else's testimonial. It came from within. I want you to hear me. It came from within. So we're going to consider now some scientific things that are congruent with this presentation on today. We want to consider some scientific things that are congruent with this presentation on today. Now, you've got to have a revelation concerning your situation, and your revelation should always be higher. I'm going to say it again. Your revelation should always be higher. If it is not revealed to you what is to come, if it is not revealed to you your victory, family, then you're most likely going to find yourself in situations and circumstances where, again, you're going to manifest as an outcome whatever it is that you see in your heart and in your mind. You're going to manifest that as an outcome. All right. The great mystic Neville Goddard says, you're already that which you want to be. Let me get myself back up here again. Me and these screens. I just needed to do what I wanted to do. Do what I want you to do. I'm going to find the right screen here in a minute. Okay, here we go. You're already that which you want to be, and your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. Wow. You've got to see it. And where do you see it? Talk to me in the comment section real quickly. Where do you see it at first? Where do you see it at first, family? Talk to me. Where do you see it at first? Real quickly. Real quickly. Where did Joshua see it at first? And where do you and I have to see it at first? Real quick. Hit me. Tell me real quick in the comment section. You know the answer. You've got to see it where first? You've got to see it where first? Within, thank you. In your mind and within, family. This is where you have to see it at first. Inside, that's right. Inside. So what Neville Goddard is commenting on, ancient biblical texts have been talking about for years. Okay. It starts within, and other wonderful texts. He goes on to say, in another quote, everything depends upon our attitude toward ourselves. That which we will not affirm as true of ourselves cannot develop in our lives. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? Joshua had to affirm, as he was led by God within himself, that God had given him the victory, that God had empowered him with victory. Now, understand this. This is a twofold thing, family, because he's not thinking he's going into the battle and God does everything. This is the problem with people. There are millions of people out there talking about they're waiting on God to be healed and they're going to die with this disease. There are millions of people out there talking about, well, I got to wait for him to speak to me about what I'm going to do next financially, and they're going to die struggling financially because they don't understand that it is them in concert with God. It is them in oneness with God that's going to get it done. Hear me. And you have been empowered to create and co-create your life. This is what people where people fail. This is where people get confused. Sitting around here talking about you waiting on God, and 10 years later, that's why you haven't heard nothing. And that's why you haven't done nothing. And even when you did get a spark of an idea, you got up for a few minutes and got excited and sat down because you doubt that the Almighty was going to do the heavy lifting. No, you're going to do the heavy lifting in concert, in oneness, in partnership with the Almighty God. Am I making any sense to anybody thus far? He goes on to say, the world is a mirror forever reflecting what you are doing within yourself. Wow, this is powerful. Let's look at a couple of things. We talked a little bit about the double slit experiment uh, that was done several years ago, decades ago, where they noticed that under observation, subatomic particles acted differently, changed from wave to particle, particle to wave. They were expecting it to pass through the object as it in one state, but once it realized it was being observed, it shifted its state. Powerful, powerful thing. That helped us to understand that the things we focus on and pay attention to change, because everything in this physical world, family, is made up of subatomic particles. Everything in this physical world is made of subatomic particles. Again, when you're looking within, you're literally creating or altering the physical construct, the physical dimension. Watch this, because of your focus on it. Whew, somebody hear me real clearly. You are literally changing the physical construct and the physical dimension because of your focus on it. The double slit experiment from quantum physics and quantum mechanics is showing that you, as a spiritual being, family, when you exercise this superior authority, this superior mastery with a persistence and a focus, then everything in the physical construct is malleable and changeable to you and to me. I hope you're hearing what I'm saying today. I hope you're embracing what I'm saying today. I want you to understand that as Joshua is seeing within, Joshua has to picture. He has to picture. He has to ra'ah. He has to use mental sight. He has to use discernment. He has to use understanding. Again, from the Hebraic perspective, he also has to experience. It is not just physical observation, it is experiential or experiencing a situation by living in it, by being in it. First person, not experiencing it on the silver screen, but in the vision, in your imagination, which is reality, living that thing. You are not trying to be it, you are living it. I want you to type that in the comment section. I must live and be it. Type that in the comment section. I must live and be it. I must live and be it. The next thing I want to share with you is what's called the predictive coding model from Friston 2005. Do you understand that the brain minimizes surprises by predicting sensory output? The neuroscientist Anil Seth said that perception is a controlled hallucination via empirical studies of interoception and visual illusions. I'm going to explain that to you in a minute. MRI, and EEG studies show top down neural activity precedes conscious perception. Top down neural activity precedes conscious perception. Now, let me tell you, I'm going to tell you in a minute why this is relative to this teaching and relative to this experience. I'm going to tell you in a minute why this is relative to this conversation. Now, top down processing means brain activity in higher levels, like the frontal cortex, may initiate or influence perceptual progressive processes before a conscious experience of a stimulus emerges. I'm going to break that down. Top down level processing refers to the influence of higher level brain areas on lower level processing. In the context of consciousness, it means that thoughts, expectations, watch this, and prior knowledge can affect how we perceive and experience stimuli. I'm going to let that sink in for a few minutes. Okay. The frontal cortex, studies using techniques like fMRI and EEG have shown that brain activity in regions associated with top down processes like the frontal cortex can be detected before a person reports consciously perceiving a stimulus. So here's how I'm going to break that down for you. You're walking down the street, you're looking at a road, family. Okay. Before your eyes can bring whatever you see into view, the studies show that there's the cortex, the frontal cortex of your brain, family, is already deciding what you're going to see before you see it. Oh Lord. Did you catch that? So before you are stimulated to be conscious to know, oh, that's a flower, oh, that's a tree, oh, that's a bee, oh, that's green grass. The frontal cortex has already decided before you see it what it is. This is what studies have shown. This is powerful, family. Why am I using this in this illustration? Battles are fought and won within the heart and the mind, and in this case, the brain, based on preconceptions. If you have developed a mindset of failure before you're even stimulated by the new news, your brain has already decided that you failed. Before you can be aware of consciousness, the brain has already decided in prefrontal cortex, it's already decided before you became aware of the news that when you got the news, this is what the news is going to read or be defined as for you. This is what the news is going to be for you. This is how the news is going to be interpreted. This is how the news is going to be felt. This is how the news is going to be looked at. I want you to let that sink in, family. I want you to let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. For instance, research on binocular rivalry, where two different images are presented to each eye, has shown that activity in the medial, temporal, and frontal lobes can precede changes in subjective perception. Similarly, studies using mask stimuli, where a target stimulus is presented quickly and briefly, has shown that the brain activity in higher levels can be observed even when the stimulus is not consciously perceived. Before your eyes can see it, there's a part of your brain that's already telling you what it is. Mm-mm-mm. Hear what I'm saying today. Before you're even stimulated by the news, by the reports, by what a person did, what a person said, there's a part of your brain that's already decided what it is. In summary, while the exact details are still being explored, the general consensus is that top-down neural activity, particularly from regions like the frontal cortex, often precedes and influences the emergence of conscious perception. So if you develop and are conditioned to believe that you are a loser, or that you're not loved, or God despises you, or I am not worthy of something, then this is why you are constantly, even before you get good news, you're interpreting it as bad news. And how many times have people had to catch themselves and say, oh, they're in shock because they were expecting the news to be bad, but it was good. And in your mind, when the person start talking, this is why you heard that thought. Yeah, I already know what they're going to say. It's going to be this, that, and the other. That is your frontal cortex deciding for you what reality is. Did you catch that? Am I making any sense to anybody? If you have a loser's mentality, it's why you eventually expect to lose. And it's why you eventually come to a place where you do lose. Because your mind is interpreting your life as one that consists of more losses than wins. And it's one that says that the pattern of losing is your reality. The pattern of failure, it says, is your reality. The pattern of pain, it says, is your reality. The pattern of loss, it says, is your reality. You knew you weren't going to get it before you got it. And don't get me wrong, sometimes God reveals it to us. The Spirit reveals it to us. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when your brain, that part of your brain is at work. It's already decided you can't pass the test. It's already decided what things would disqualify you from being what you want to be, because you are conditioned with these thousands and thousands of thoughts and complex feelings that certify these thoughts to be reality for you over a period of years. That now the frontal cortex is trained to think the way it thinks. Am I making any sense to anybody? Am I making any sense to anybody? Am I making any sense to anybody? Here's something else I want you to consider. Here's something else I want you to consider. There's what's called, and let me get into my next thing, cognitive bias. Cognitive bias. What cognitive bias is, we favor information that confirms our preconceptions. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias, more official. We favor information that confirms our preconceptions. Lord have mercy. This is family. You might not be shouting and running under the floor, but but this is powerful. Confirmation bias. People live with confirmation bias every day. So just the information I gave you about the frontal cortex of the brain deciding consciousness before there's a stimulus for consciousness, it's in concert with confirmation bias, meaning that the way you think, the way you move, the way you function, family, is based on your preconceptions. And as it has been stated, I think 90%, it's like 80 or 90% of our thoughts are repetitive every day. This is why people move the same way in the world, believe the same way in the world, do the same things in the world. This is why it's difficult for people to break out of paradigms, because they're living with preconceptions, and these preconceptions are creating reality. And this reality is confirming their preconceptions. Hear me, family. This confirmation bias exists with God. People think God lives in this box. People think God is limited to one book. This confirmation bias exists. And whether you think you're worthy or unworthy, this confirmation bias exists in defining your self-esteem. This confirmation bias exists. And people to say, see, just like, didn't I say that was going to happen? Yeah, it happened. It's supposed to happen. As he thinking in his heart, so is he. It's supposed to happen. Death and life is in the power of your tongue. It's supposed to happen. Your preconception says it's going to happen. It says it's going to happen. You continue to put that in your world. That's exactly why it's happening the way it's happening. And even if it shows up differently, you have the choice to change it. Have you ever seen people take good news and turn it into something bad? Have you ever seen people complain about a good thing that happened? Or have you ever seen people who could not enjoy something good for 30 minutes, for a half a day, before expecting that it was going to get worse, or I'm going to go back to the way I was, or at some point in time the bottom is going to fall out of this situation? That's confirmation bias. That's that confirmation bias. That's the higher level functions of your brain deciding for you, for you, and before the stimulus comes, what it is. Hear me what I'm saying today, family. Confirmation bias is real. So if you are if it's confirmed to you that you're not good enough, you got to break out of that. You got to break that cycle of thinking. Because again, this is not the devil, and this is not the Almighty, and this is not other people. This is you and I who live with such a confirmation bias that we are creating the reality that we live in. Hear what I'm saying today. So check this out. This leads to the phenomenon known as the framing effect. It demonstrates that people respond differently to the same information depending on whether it's presented positively or negatively. And I'm going to skip through some of this information. Risky choice framing. Participants were presented with scenarios involving hypothetical life and death situations where they had to choose between options with different probabilities of success or failure. When options were framed positively, saving lives, participants tended to choose options that seemed less risky. Conversely, when options were framed negatively, losing lives, participants were more likely to choose riskier options. And it's based on a study that was done. And I don't want to get into the study too deeply because I don't want to bore you today. But the results of this study show that participants were told about an outbreak of an unusual Asian disease and were asked to choose between two programs to combat it. One program had a 1/3 chance of saving everyone and a 2/3 chance of everyone dying. The other program would result in a certain number of deaths. The framing of this scenario, whether presented as saving lives or preventing deaths, significantly influenced the participants' choices, based again on whether they perceived a life would be saved or a death would be prevented. This led to the development of what's called a prospect theory. A prospect theory explains how people evaluate gains and losses relative to a reference point. Hear what I'm saying today. As it relates to what's called loss aversion, prospect theory highlights that losses have a greater psychological impact than gains, even when gains and losses are of equal magnitude. Good gracious. Do you know what that's really saying? That people hold on to losses longer than they do gains. People hold on longer to negativity that is associated with loss than they do the positivity that is associated with gain. Are you hearing me, family? Are you hearing me? What does this have to do with Joshua? You're going to only be able to see within based on your confirmation bias. You're going to only be able to see within also based on what you perceive to be experience in winning or losing. And if by chance you feel like you've lost a lot, guess what people are holding on to longer than the wins? It's the losses. It's quiet up in here. I don't see no lights and hearts. Can y'all still hear me? Because it's quiet on Facebook. I got my phone open. Ain't nobody saying nothing. Can y'all hear me? And this is why when people hear a positive word, a positive message, that seed works for a couple of days. Eventually it gets choked out because people are more fixated on loss aversion. Did you catch what I just said? People are more fixated on the bitter taste that was left in their mouth. Mhm. The bitter taste. They go on to talk about heuristic bias, the framing effect, and prospect theory demonstrate how people's decisions can be influenced by cognitive biases, including the use of heuristics. And heuristics simply means shortcuts that simplify decision making. So basically, what they're saying is it's because people are, are used to framing things, focusing on the negative more so than the positive, the mind automatically just shifts to favoring the positive over the negative. In other words, it won't allow you to analyze it. It won't allow you to be analytical. That's the heuristic portion of it. It won't allow you to say, is this logical for me to think that I'm going to lose again? Is this logical for me to think that I'm going to be hurt and wounded again? Is this logical for me to think that of this person that has manifested in my life, or this job that I know was divinely created, constructed, and manifested for me? Is it logical for me to think that this positive stuff has to turn into something bad? Is it logical for me to think that I have to live in this loop of depression and discouragement all the time? Is it logical for me to think that the last 25 episodes of where I fail, that I have to fail in episode number 26 that hasn't even happened yet? And what happens is, because of heuristics, we make shortcuts and automatically assume the outcome is going to be based on the pain of our losses. Hey, somebody hear me. Am I making any sense to anybody? Am I making any sense to anybody? Some of y'all have ran off love because you framed it based on losses. Some of y'all won't even apply for things because you framed it based on past times when you didn't get something, not understanding that your confirmation bias most likely manifested the outcome. Many people will go all the way around a good situation because they have convinced themselves that certain things are not meant to happen to them, not meant to happen for them, not meant to happen through them. Come on here. Based on their fixation and their devotion to losing, their devotion to pain, their devotion to the after effects, family, of when they failed in that relationship, of when they failed in trying to go to school, when they failed in applying for the job, of when they failed in running for a political office, of when they failed in trying to establish a business, of when they failed in trying to be there for their family and lead and guide them, and then it was just thrown in their face, or it appeared to be unappreciative in the previous 100 situations. I need you to hear me. We take a shortcut and just decide from now on, this is just the way it is. Hear what I'm saying today. You can literally be trained and conditioned to be a loser. I showed you from a scientific standpoint up until this point. We talk about spiritual, we talk about the metaphysical, we talk about all those things, but I want you to see that this is proven scientifically. This is proven through research and study. Joshua can look within. He's endorsed by God. But he also is conditioned to know what winning is. He's conditioned to believe in winning. He's conditioned to see himself as a winner. I need you to catch what I'm saying. It's not enough to see your God as a winner. You got to see yourself as a winner. For to see your God as a winner and you as a loser is not a good combination. This is why God has to perform therapy on Gideon, like he has to perform therapy on Joshua. And the first thing he tells him in chapter 1 is, I was with Moses, same promise I made to Moses, the same promise I made with you, and I'm with you. He's already let him know, I'm with you, I'm standing beside you, you got my support 1,000%. I need you to have faith in that. I need that to register in your brain. I need that to register in your mind, that you are not alone in this, that you are victorious. Moses had to go. Come on now. Folks had to die, that previous generation, but you are a winner, and I'm going to ensure that you win. The revelation of victory, family, begins with you deprogramming, rooting up old programming that has you looking like a loser, has you feeling like a loser, constantly reminding you of the times that it didn't go right for you. I need you to catch what I'm saying. Constantly reminding you of the times where you tried and fell on your face. It's constantly reminding you of the times where you got your hopes up only to have them shattered. The revelation of victory begins with you confronting those thoughts and saying, God is not the only winner. I'm a winner. The only way this partnership works is that I know he's made me a winner, that I own that I'm a winner, that somehow, some way, I take out of my mind, I release from my mind what parents have said to me in a negative way, what siblings have done to me in a negative way, what people have done to me who violated my mind and my body. I need you to catch what I'm saying. What former employers and whatever, and all the mistakes I've made, I got to stop defining myself by that and recognize if I see with God's vision, if I see with divine vision, that I'm going to see the real me from the inside as the one who has already conquered whatever Jericho means to me. But you don't know how much I've done. This is why you're in this loop. But you don't know the things I did. This is why you're still in the loop, because you're still focused on then that don't even exist now unless you create it in the now. Until you get rid of the confirmation bias for losing, confirmation bias that predicts that it's always going to fall apart for you, confirmation bias that's saying you weak, confirmation bias that's saying you don't have it, confirmation bias that said you're not pretty enough, confirmation bias that says it's just a matter of time that people lose you, confirmation bias that says it's just a matter of time that people see into you and don't want to have nothing until, family, you allow God in partnership to help you confront these thoughts, these feelings, these emotions that are festering and nesting on the inside of you and creating a mindset that's constantly transmitting and projecting into the world and constantly creating things in your world that a part of you doesn't want, but the predominant thoughts are in control now. So it keeps reproducing this stuff over and over and over again. Some of y'all are in conflict with it now. Some of y'all are battling it now. But I came by here to disrupt all that. I came by here to speak to you that the victory is yours and you just need to see it. I came by here to say, wake up. Wake up. Open your big spiritual eyes. Open your big spiritual heart and realize the kingdom is yours. The victory is yours. It's all there for the taking. But you've got to be willing to see it. Ooh, see it. You've got to be willing to see it. You can't be it until you see it. I'm going to say it again. You can't be it until you see it. You can't be it until you see it. And you're going to have to develop. Neville Goddard says your attention must be developed, controlled, and concentrated in order to change your concept of yourself successfully and thereby change your future. Come on now. It's going to require that you start focusing on these thoughts that you don't like to have. It's going to require that you're going to have to start focusing on these emotions and telling them they're a lie, telling them you don't accept it. It's going to require some attention that you can control what's happening on the inside of you. And you can start changing the concept of yourself, changing what you think about you, changing what you believed about you all those years, changing how you see yourself, changing your beliefs of what other folk have said about you that has scarred you and wounded you. Some of y'all been called crazy. Some of y'all been called strange. Some of y'all been called off. Some of y'all been called black and chocolate. Come on here. Some of y'all been called flighty. Some of y'all been seen and viewed as people who will not succeed in life. Some of y'all have been treated like you the mix up and the mess up in the family. I need you to catch it. Some of y'all have been treated like you last. So you think you last. You're acting like you last. You're expecting not to succeed. But I'm telling you right now, young Joshua's, you got to see victory. You got to see victory because that stuff is a Jericho for you. That stuff is the thing that looks impregnable and insurmountable. And you have to see within. You have to consciously, intentionally decide these thoughts will not thrive in my mind. I am going to visualize in my imagination victory. The ideal you seek and hope to attain will not manifest itself, will not be realized by you until you have imagined that you are already that ideal. Do you see this? Do you see this? Joshua had to imagine he was a victor. Joshua had to see with intention that he had mastered Jericho. Before God gave him a strategy, he had to see that city is my city. That city is a city I've conquered. That city is a city I beat the brakes off of those soldiers. That city is a city where the king is mine. The soldiers are mine. Yeah, you got to see it. And they say, well, you're crazy. They say, well, you don't have enough money. They say, you've been turned down 100 times. They say, you don't have enough connections. They say, how are you going to do it by yourself? And you got to be crazy enough and have enough faith to see the ideal you succeeding in boardrooms, negotiating loans, buying buildings. Come on now, doing whatever it is you want to do, teach, lead, guide, counsel, fly, vacation, be loved, make love in ways. Come on now, whatever it is, you got to see it to the point where folks might think you crazy, where folks might say you out of your mind, where folks might say, look at him. After all the mistakes he done made, thinking he can bounce back, thinking he can have the woman of his dreams, or she thinking she can have the man of her dreams, or he thinking he can live in that $500,000 house, or he thinking he can actually run a company, or he thinking he can actually get hired with not enough education and all the skeletons in his closet. Yes, I see myself with the position. Yes, I see myself. Come on now, driving that Denali SUV. Yes, I see myself living in that $500,000 house. Yes, I see myself with the man and woman. Come on now, of your creation, of your desire. Adam speaking to Eve, Eve speaking to Adam. Come on now, you got to see like Joshua. I don't see walls, I see victory. I don't see people trying to kill me. I see me overcoming people. My God. Am I making any sense to anybody here? Imagination of faith and faith are the secrets of creation. Imagination and faith are the secrets of creation. Family, if you can imagine it and believe it, remember what things soever you desire when ye pray. What? Believe that ye what? Receive them. The way I believe that I receive them is that I am it. I have become it. I am experiencing it. I am living it. I am feeling it. I am abiding in it. They are the secrets of creation. For all spiritual beings create by faith. They can create chaos by believing in chaos, or they can create peace and oasis by believing in it, by persisting in the assumption that you are already the person you want to be. You rise above all doubt, fear, and belief in the power of outside conditions or circumstances, and your world inevitably conforms to your assumption. As he thinketh in his heart, so is he. All things are possible. All things are possible to them that believe. Did you hear me tonight? Did you hear me today? Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Hear Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Do you see? You Do you see? You Do you see? You Do you see victory? Almighty, I thank you. Thank you for revealing to somebody here today inner sight, divine sight. Ikoshni andanama, divine sight, divine sight, divine sight. To see, to see, 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 see within themselves victory. If you see, type I see victory over and then fill in the blank. So for some, it might be I see victory over self abuse. Others, it might be I see victory over discouragement. Others might say I see victory over mental blocks. Others might type I see victory over poverty. I see victory over doubt. I see victory over distrust. Come on, type it in the comment section. I see victory. There you go. 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 I see victory over debt. I see victory over apathy. I see victory. Yeshua's name, power, way, consciousness, it is so and so it is. I see victory. It's what I see. It's what I see. This is your opportunity to give, to donate. Thank you so much for coming by here today. You always make the difference. I see victory. There you go. See it like Joshua did inside. Ra'ah. See it. And it don't mean you won't have moments where what's programmed in the body is misery tries to form itself in thoughts to combat or counteract, but you still from within, like Joshua, see victory. Yes, yes, victory over fear. Beautiful. Victory, victory, victory. That's it. Victory over betrayal. These are all good. Victory, 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 victory. Do you feel it? Am I the only one who senses this? Victory, 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 victory. I sense it. I feel it. I know it. It is so. And so it is. I say it again. It is so. And so it is. Victory, 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 victory. Move. You'll move in your heart first, family. Some of you want to move. You'll move in jobs. You'll change it in your heart first. You change jobs in your heart first. You grow your business in your heart first. You grow closer to developing more of an awareness of God inside, within first. See, victory, 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 victory. Come on, say it with me. Victory, 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 victory. Come on, say it. Victory, 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 victory. I sense it and I feel it. Hallelujah. Victory, victory, victory. I'm going to release you today. Don't forget to go by the divinespeciesshop.com, family. divinespeciesshop.com, and pick up your mugs and t-shirts and whatever else there that's designed to bless you. But I really want us to start spreading the message of what we believe. I am powerful. It's time for you to write that on your chest. Let that inscription permeate your innermost being. It's time for you to mark off your body, mark off your spirit with divine words and share it with the world. You know who you are and you own who and what you are, and you're inviting them to join you. I love you all so dearly, and I always thank those who support with viewership and with their giving. Now I'm going to release you today with the Shalom blessing. And this blessing is real, genuine, in you. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing and nothing broken. It is so. So it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See you next time.